Readiness. Now I'm Steve Mundt, and I'm on my part of the script. So, on behalf of the almost 17,000 members of the Army Aviation Association, I want to welcome you to the 14th Annual Luther G. Jones Professional Aviation Forum. I think it's important, as you've noticed in my notes, to kind of set the context. So if we can roll the video of who is Luther G. Jones.
You may have known him, for his name took many forms. You may have been influenced by him, as he is influential even today. He came to what was then a RADMAC, the Army Aeronautical Depot Maintenance Center. He came during the height of the Vietnam War to a facility already famous for repairing Huey aircraft. After leaving the Army, he retired in Corpus Christi and remained active in the community, providing student loans to young people going to college. He tirelessly lent his support to the United Way, to the establishment of the Texas State Aquarium, and most importantly, Texas A&M University. During the legislative session which dealt with approval of the funding for the university, he spent every week in Austin presenting the case to legislators. He was also selected chairman of the Texas Turnpike Commission in Austin by then Governor Ann Richards. During all this, he served 4 terms as mayor of Corpus Christi from 1979 to 1987 and was the only Corpus Christi mayor to be honored with the title Mayor Emeritus upon retiring his gavel. More than any other honor, he was most proud of having a school named in his honor in 1991. He was proud of the fact that he only missed 4 PTA meetings at Luther Jones Elementary School. He continued his public service to the adopted city that he loved until the day he died.
So as you can see, quite a legacy, and very, very appropriate that we've named this the Luther G. Jones Depot Forum. We are honored, though, to have with us Mr. Jones's daughters, Drew Jones and Jean Honeycutt. And so, welcome as always, and if there's anybody that wants to know how the women's movement started, you go talk to those ladies. No, they're outstanding ladies, and they have been a true inspiration in the community and been very, very supportive of us. Finally, let's recognize the CCAD personnel. So everybody that's working CCAD, please stand up. I got to tell you, we want to thank you for all you do, and I'm really looking forward for the opportunity to visit with you tomorrow out on base when we have the barbecue luncheon, which will be hosted by Quad A. Well, we have a great team here in Corpus Christi, from the workforce of this great city to the state of Texas and all the industry partners of the Army Depot itself. They're an integrated enterprise that's dedicated to meeting the needs of our nation, our soldiers, and their families. Corpus Christi is a national treasure. It's been said a lot, but I'm not sure people understand it. And so what you do each and every day here makes a difference. But we need you to tell your story. We need to help you tell your story. If I'm in a unit and my aircraft crashes and it gets evac'd, you repair it. But the minute it comes off my books, I forget about it. I'm looking for the new one. But people don't realize how much you do each and every day to make this Army what it is and make us successful. And it's not just the Army. I mean, you do work for the Navy, you do work for the Marines. You know, you are a true joint facility. And as I learned last night, you're not a depot, you're depots, so 2. And you'll hear more about that from the person who truly knows. But help us tell your story. Our Quad A Corpus Christi chapter is led by yours truly, Bob Stratton. So if you'll stand up so everybody can see who you are, Bob. There he is. If you've not met him, go meet him. He'd be happy to talk to you. They got a great chapter, and they're doing good things. But what I say, and I say it all the time, is chapters are the lifeblood of Quad A, but members are the lifeblood of the chapters. And I tell everybody, no matter where I speak, professionals are members of professional organizations. I don't care if you're in the Navy, you're part of the Naval Association, whether it's surface warfare, whatever. If you're in the Air Force, you're part of AFA or tankers. If you're in the Army, you ought to be a member of AUSA. If you're in the National Guard, you ought to be a member of NAUGUS. And if you're an Army aviator, regardless of what component you're in, you need to be a member of Quad A. And it's important because of what Quad A is here for. Our motto is pure and simple. It's how do you take care of aviation soldiers and families. And so I want to encourage you to get out and get involved. All great teams have quality leaders, and that could not be more true than today with the, well, God, it's been a little while ago, but the change of command and you're Colonel Gail Atkins. She's an outstanding leader. She's well known throughout the Army Aviation enterprise, and she is making a difference with you and your team each and every day. Gail, thanks for all you're doing. Thanks for the outstanding CCAD team of artisans. And I use that word artisans very carefully. You have a quality here that you don't find other places. You can do things here that people only dream of, because of the talent and the techniques and the skills that you have here. So thanks for what you're doing for our soldiers and with industry. One of the initiatives that Quad A took on with CCAD leadership about 14 plus years ago was to establish a Quad A award for excellence in depot maintenance. Specifically, we created the Quad A Donald F. Luce Depot Maintenance Artisan of the Year Award. And we will formally introduce Sergeant Renth and his wife, Rebecca, later in the program. But when you see them walking around, take a minute to talk to them. I got to tell you, great young couple, what it's all about to be a young family in the Army. And they've got a lot of dreams and aspirations, and I couldn't have been happier to meet them and take some time to talk to them throughout the day. As mentioned earlier, it's a distinct pleasure that we will have with us this morning Congressman Michael Cloud. He's going to join us shortly. Look, I'm not in politics, but I got to tell you, I was pretty impressed when I found out that he said, "Hey, sir, I'm going to be a little late." And I said, well, this excuse better be pretty good. And he said, "I'm dropping my child off at school this morning." I went, "That's a good excuse. You win." So he will be here, but that speaks volumes of a man. So we are also, at some point today, General Ambassador at Large, Master Army Aviator Del Daly will join us. And we're proud to have with us today from the surrounding community, the Corpus Christi Mayor, Joe McComb, who will be with us, Nueces County Judge Samuel Lloyd Neal, Corpus Christi Councilwoman at Large Paulette Guajardo, Mr. Wes Hoskins, Chairman of the Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce, and the world-renowned, infinitely famous Mr. Joe Guzman, Director of the South Texas Military Facilities Task Force, spent many, many years with the depot, but now continues to serve the community in the state. So thank you all for supporting our soldiers and the government workers here at CCAD, and for your outstanding community support we receive here in Corpus Christi. I am also pleased to welcome our host installation commander, Captain Lou Brock. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. Hope this is informative. We had a lot of Navy discussion last night with Gail's husband, so John Riggs and I will do our best. We'll do our best to continue today. I would also like to recognize some senior Army aviation leaders that are with us today. Our keynote speaker, of course, is Mr. Bill Marriott, who is the Deputy Commanding General of the United States Army Aviation Missile Life Cycle Management Command, shortened to AMCOM. And representing PEO Aviation is Scott Harris. So we thank you. Additionally, our current Quad A Secretary, Major General retired Tim Crosby, is absent without leave. Okay. Quad A VP for Guard Reserve Relations, Major General Les Eisner, retired. And he'll be chairing later the Securing the Futures CCAD Workforce Panel. And then past Quad A President, Brigadier General retired Howard Yellen, is here to chair the OEM Futures Panel tomorrow. Another familiar face out there, I mentioned earlier, is Master Army Aviator, great friend and confidant, Lieutenant General John Riggs, who I understand, have been told that he's the best CH-47 Alpha pilot in the Army. So, thank you for your support, John. In lieu of speaker gifts, Quad A makes donations on your behalf to the Quad A Scholarship Fund, and the Quad A mission statement, as I said, pure and simple: support Army aviation soldiers and their families. This event is a key part of that mission by providing a networking opportunity like this for all aspects of our Army aviation community, from trainers and operators to maintainers, acquisition, industry, and we all continue to contribute to the combat capability of our soldiers downrange. The theme this year for CCAD, for this event, is CCAD, the cornerstone of aviation readiness. This is exactly what CCAD has been doing for many, many, many years. As I said earlier, CCAD is a vital national asset that ensures we have surge capability with trained and ready artisans to meet future conflict requirements while providing daily state-of-the-art remanufacturing depot-level maintenance to the Army today. We look forward to increasing budgets, but for everybody that understands our cycle, it is a cycle. It increases, it decreases. But while we're in the increase mode, we've got to remember that all the things that we're going to do, it's not going to take all these airframes out of the Army at one time and replace them. We're going to fly the models that we have for many, many, many years to come. Even if you look at future vertical lift, when you look at Cape Set 3, we're going after the utility version, the cargo version of that, and then we're going to go back later and look at the replacement on the attack side. That's a change. That means that Apache is going to be around for a long time. You look at the CH-47, it's been in operation for over 50 years. So, you know, there's a lot of airframes that are doing a lot of work, but thanks to what you're doing, they're still able to do it. Taken together, the new work coming here with the UH-60 Victor model, the implications of future vertical lift program, CCAD is truly the cornerstone of aviation readiness.